Today I'm going to speak about something that's going to be very, very controversial. And it's something that's not spoken about enough in the health and fitness industry. And even for me personally, I've struggled with this for years and years. And even recently, I find myself going down the path of bad habits. Now, in the previous video, I spoke about calorie tracking, and I spoke a bit more detail about the benefits of tracking calories, but also the benefits of not tracking calories. But today's video, I want to speak a bit more about food quality, because we're in a day and age now where food is just labeled as a number. We've got people trying to achieve a certain result, and they're tracking their calories, which is amazing, but what's happening is the food quality is going down and down. If you look at the statistics over the world, obesity is on a rise. People's health is on a decline at a scary, scary rate. And this isn't by accident. If you look at our day-to-day food, we go to the supermarket. There's so much processed foods, so much foods are in packets. If we look at 50, 60 years ago, look at our grandparents, look at the food they had. It was so basic. They had spuds, vegetables, some meats. If they wanted something sweet, you'd have granny's apple tart or apple crumble or fairy cakes. But nowadays, our food quality has gone so bad. And I feel it's because we have so much emphasis on tracking calories and numbers. And everything is labeled a number. You go into a supermarket or a shop, you pick up a certain food, it's going to have low calorie options, contains 90 calories. And yes, making them smarter choices is going to help you with your health and fitness goals, especially if it's to lose weight. But we have to understand that food quality is so important, because there's no point you consuming, let's say, 2,000 calories if it's going to be junk food. If it's going to be food that's going to have you feeling down, it's going to affect your mood, affect your hormones. We've all been there before. When you've had a day where you've maybe binged on the Snickers or the Mars bars or the ice cream, we just feel like shit afterwards. But when you've had a really good day of eating nutrient-dense foods, guess what? You feel better. And I like to use this analogy. If you have a car, you put fuel in the car. Now, let's say if you have a brand new Lamborghini or Ferrari, argument's sake, would you put dirty fuel into that car? Or would you go to the garage and get premium fuel? You're always going to go for the better fuel. So imagine that, you've just got a brand new car and you see someone on the side of the road selling you petrol or fuel, and you see someone on the side of the road selling you dirty fuel because it's really cheap and it's convenient and it's easy. Because rather than going up the road an extra 5 minutes, you can get fuel off this person at the side of the road, but it's going to be dirty fuel. You wouldn't do it. You're always going to go the extra 5 minutes to go to the proper garage to get proper fuel for your brand new car. Because if you put dirty fuel into your car, what's going to happen? Your car's not going to run very well, it's not going to go very far, and most likely it's going to break down, meaning you're going to have a big hefty bill from the mechanic to fix your car. So we have to look at your health and fitness just like this. The quality of the food you consume and put into your body is just like the quality of the food you put into your car. It's no different. Because if you're constantly putting not good foods into your body, what's going to happen? Just like the car, we're going to get sick, we're going to break down, we're going to end up in the doctors or the hospital and then on medication. And this is going to become such a vicious cycle. And this is a really passionate topic of mine. My dad passed away last year and he did not have any emphasis on his health and fitness. He was a bit overweight, but his general health, his general fitness was non-existent. He was always getting sick, his body wasn't working very well, and then he passed away last year suddenly. But again, this emphasizes the importance of our health and fitness. Because yes, we can lose weight by eating Mars bars and Snickers and ice cream and this and that, but you're not going to feel very good. You're not going to fuel your body, and it's going to lead to more problems down the way. And I find it really strange that we're in an age now where when someone is eating nutrient-dense foods, their food is made up of good proteins and good carbohydrates and good fats and good fibers, and we exercise regularly. And by doing all this, it's deemed as a diet. Imagine that. But when we're eating processed foods and takeaways and stuff like this, the quick, easy fixes, I remember eating the junk foods and the takeaways and the snacks and the sugar and the sweets. It's deemed as a normal process. But when we start to have a more nutrient dense diet, it's deemed as you're on a diet or you're trying to achieve a certain result. It's absolutely crazy. Nowadays, it's not socially acceptable to look after yourself. And that sounds really harsh, but it is extremely true. You look at yourself as an example. I want you to think of the last time that you tried to improve your health and fitness. Maybe you went through a period where you cut out all the sweets and the biscuits and the chocolates and the takeaways and maybe gave up alcohol, and you were just eating really nutrient dense foods. You were going for the really fresh salads, you were going for the overnight oats, or you were going for the eggs in the morning. For dinner you were going for the chicken or the salmon or whatever it may be. And you may have had a friend or a partner who said to you, what are you on a diet for? Are you on a diet? You're not eating this. We've all been there before. And it's just bonkers that that's the way it's gone. Whereas if you were to sit there and have sausage rolls for breakfast, for lunch have a jambon or some sweets, some chocolate, and for dinner have some takeaways or McDonald's or have some Burger King, whatever it may be, if you were to consume that every single day, it's deemed as normal. No one would bat an eyelid. But yet when it comes to looking after ourselves, there's so much judgment. And I've been there before. When I was on my own journey, everyone used to judge me. Oh, you're on a diet and you're on this and you're obsessive and you have to live a little and X, Y, Z. But the truth is, me living a little was the reason I was nearly 40 kg overweight. The reason why I was getting pains in my chest. The reason why I went from a medium shirt to an extra large shirt. And I hated my life on a daily basis. All because I was living a little. It's only when I started to lose weight and look after myself, look after my body, I started to feel mentally and physically better in so many ways. But we're in a day and age now where people judge us for looking after ourselves. If we go to the gym or we go for daily walks or we run or we say no to this and then say yes to our salad, people think we're not normal. They think we're obsessive because we're looking after ourselves. But we have to look at the food quality is going to be so important. Now, we have to look at the fine balance too. You know, for me, I love an almond croissant, I love ice cream, I love some chocolate, I love sour sweets. But I'm also aware that I want to have them in moderation. Let them complement my current lifestyle. And I like using the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is 80% of your food is made up of nutrient dense in terms of good carbs, you know, potatoes, some good rice. Looking at good proteins, it could be fish, it could be chickens, it could be beef, it could be tofu. Looking at some good fats, you know, eggs, lots of vegetables, lots of fruits, you know, some nuts and seeds. And then that 20% is made up of maybe the ice cream or the almond croissant, or it could be some jellies, or it could be some chocolate. By sticking to this rule, it means that then you are now in control. And what I mean by nutrient-dense foods, it's the foods that are not processed. It's the foods that we can make ourselves, whether it's going to be making a good wholesome breakfast in the morning, not going for the cereal, maybe going for your overnight oats, maybe going for your eggs and bacon instead. For lunch, rather than going for the jambon or the quick easy fix, maybe bringing a chicken salad or some sort of salad to work with you. Snacks, rather than going for a chocolate bar or going for, you know, a bag of jellies, you could look at going for some fruits, some nuts and seeds. And even for dinners, like rather than going for the quick fixes, the microwave meals or the fish fingers or this and that, making a good nutrient dense dinner, lots of vegetables, good carbs, whether it be potatoes or rice, and a good source of protein. It could be fish, it could be chicken, it could be beef, whatever that may be. And then for dessert, it could be a bit of pie, it could be an almond croissant, whatever that may be. But as long as your food is made up of mainly nutrient dense foods, you can live an amazing life. But what happens is we are actually doing a 20-80 rule, which is we're consuming 20% nutrient dense foods and 80% of junk foods. Then we're waking up not feeling motivated, not feeling energetic, we're gaining weight, we're not seeing results, we've got no energy, and it just becomes a massive big rut. And I've been that person before, waking up late, having Cocoa Pops for breakfast, you know, for lunch then I'd have a cookie and maybe a sausage roll. My snacks then would be some biscuits or some sweets, some treats. Come home then and I'd maybe have some beans, some fish fingers and some frozen chips. And I'd done this for years and years and years. The only time I get vegetables is maybe on a Sunday when I went to my granny's. And this is the reason why I ended up gaining so much weight and just not loving life whatsoever. And I see this so often. And it's because of the social world we're living in. It's socially acceptable to consume nothing only processed foods and junk foods. Let's look at 50, 60 years ago. If you were someone to consume only sugar and bars and sweets and chocolate, back then it would be socially unacceptable, because back then people's food was just simple. But we look at now, it's just completely done a 360. And now when we try to eat good nutrient-dense foods, it's classed as a diet. It's absolutely crazy. So your food quality is going to outweigh your food quantity by 110%. Because yes, it's important to track your calories to be in control, but you have to make sure them calories are actually nutrient-dense calories. And we want to make sure that the calories we are consuming are nutrient-dense. Just like putting car in your fuel, there's no point putting fuel in your car that's going to be dirty and it's going to lead your car to break down, to go down the road, to need a mechanic to get towed home. Your body's the exact same. There's no point tracking calories if you're only going to be consuming chocolate and sweets and sugar. I'm not saying these are bad. What I'm saying is that we have to look at food quality as the first and foremost compared to the calories, because everyone is down this rabbit hole of, sure, it's okay, I tracked my calories and sure, look, I had 3 bottles of wine this week, but it's okay because I'm in my calories, or I had some cake but I factored it in. But what we're doing is, when you are consuming, let's say, 5 bottles of wine or 10 beers or 10 almond croissants, although you may be tracking your calories, you are then taking away nutrient-dense calories from your body. So you cannot expect to feel good, to wake up feeling energetic and motivated when we're not looking after our bodies, just like your car. So treat the food you consume as the fuel of your car. The better that fuel, the better your body's going to run. When you get sick, your immune system is going to work better. When you wake up, you're going to be more energetic. You're going to be more motivated to maybe exercise or go for the walks or go to the gym. Your food is the fundamental of everything, and that relies on your whole life. Your job, your kids, your partner, whatever that may be, the food you consume is the number one thing that you can control. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need a new diet plan. You don't need a new coach. Maybe you do, but you need to just start with the food quality. Because I can promise you, if you can tidy up your current lifestyle and have more nutrient-dense foods, make the effort to go into the kitchen and just cook. Because that's what we're lacking. We're lacking the skills to cook. Why? Because it's so easy to go for Uber Eats, or it's so easy to go for the takeaways or the frozen fish fingers or the frozen chips or XYZ, rather than just making some simple foods that are going to fuel our body. And I get it, I've been there before. But if you can tidy up the food you're consuming now and look at more nutrient-dense foods, look at more whole foods, then this is going to help you in the bigger picture. And that needs to be the first place you start. There's no point in trying to have a fancy plan and a fancy program and trying to track your calories when we're not doing the fundamentals first. So when you get them fundamentals right, everything else is going to flow so much better, because now you're actually fueling your body properly and correctly, and it's going to give you all the benefits of what we talked about before. And then when you have a goal, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to get more stronger, more fitter, tone up, whatever that goal may be, that's going to come a byproduct of everything you have been doing. So remember, food quality is so important. And it's something I'm really big on with my clients, is the food quality. Yes, track calories is a good tool. Yes, it's good to understand what foods contain what, but it's essential that the food quality is going to outweigh the food quantity, because we don't want to be fixated on calories and this and that, and sure, it's okay, I can have 500 calories worth of takeaways or 1,000 calories worth of sugar because I'm within my calories. Focus on the food quality and the rest will fall into play. I can guarantee you that. If you found this helpful or you have any questions or stuff like that, just pop it down below. Adios.